because as a content creator, your job is to entertain other people. That's it. Find creative ways to entertain other people. And usually, more people will come work out if they know it's also going to be entertaining. So, if I did not have the background, probably would just act more like.
Welcome to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion.
I am Atrix.
Oh, and we're here joined
Hi.
by our fantastic guest. Who are you?
Me, Kugo, from TheMightyGym. Good to be here.
Oh, well, thank you very much for your time. It's an honor to have you on and get to know you. So thank you very much. Oh,
Of course.
So we'll start with the meat and potatoes conversation. What are you known for? How'd you get started? What got you into VRChat?
Oh, me personally? That's fun.
Yeah, for you personally.
Not just the group, but me personally? Oh, that's really, really fun. So for those who may not know me, I actually started off, I'm a YouTuber. So I started doing YouTube back in 2014 or 2015. And then everybody remembers the Ugandan Knuckles era of VRChat, right? So that's when I was actually making a lot of videos in VRChat for my YouTube channel and doing live streams and all that kind of stuff. So I was a part of that first wave, that first phase. I still remember my very first HTC Vive, the first model. And it was my first foray into what social VR was. And I honestly didn't play it a whole lot after that until maybe about around I don't know if I could say this word on YouTube right now or anymore, but if you got post-production, right? You can bleep stuff out if you need to.
I'll bleep stuff out.
It's like during COVID times is when I was
think
really
that's A-okay.
okay.
I think it's okay
there was a
now.
time where it wasn't good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So during those times, everybody was stuck inside, and I also come from a fitness background. So I used to manage gyms. I used to be a personal trainer. I'm still a certified fitness coach in real life as well. It's like one of my other businesses that I run. And I decided, like, hey, I have this background in being a content creator. I have this background in using VR, and I have this background in fitness and this background in gaming. Why are there not more fun solutions for social fitness in places like VRChat? And so I got together with who is now the developer of this world, Mixie, who's absolutely amazing. She also makes a whole bunch of other VRChat worlds, and we started building this project out maybe about three and a half years ago, and it's gone through many stages, and it's been supported by our lovely community, and we're gearing up for a new exciting year for MightyGym this year. And that's been the last 3 years. I've been spending a lot more time in VRChat as just a fitness instructor. So yes, sometimes playing around and world hopping and having fun, but spending a lot of time in here running classes for like 20 to 30 people and just sharing the love of health and wellness with everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so I would like to ask, what got you started with being a fitness coach and doing that kind of thing in the real life, mask, and how is that different from doing it here in VR?
That's a really good question. I started getting into fitness a very long time ago. The two main precursors to my fitness journey were, one, something you've probably heard of, Dragon Ball Z. Right?
Yep.
Dragon Ball. Okay. I remember being like, I don't know, 15, 16, and being like, there's no way humans can look like that. And then I remember seeing some people in the gym when I was 20, 21 and being like, oh my God, humans can look like this if they train hard enough. I want to train like that. And then also I have a younger sibling who went off. I love telling this story. He loves this story too. I have a younger sibling, a brother who went off to join the military for a year. And when he left, he was very, very frail and small. And when he came back, he looked like a Ninja Turtle. he was just like a brick of muscle, and I was like, I can't let my younger brother be all like jacked and fit and look awesome. And I like just was, eating McDonald's every day and playing World of Warcraft for like 8 hours a day, and was like, maybe I'll put some time into grinding my fitness, my health, in addition to being a gamer and all this other stuff. So those are the precursors. And then it wasn't till maybe I was in my mid-20s that I decided to pursue more of professional jobs in the fitness industry. And then I started to work for companies like Planet Fitness, 24 Hour Fitness, or some other big ones, and working for small mom and pop gyms, just being a trainer and leading group classes. But I've always been so intrigued by combining fitness with social elements, and figuring out how to use your personality and your energy to inspire and energize other people, because fitness is hard. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of energy. A lot of people don't associate working out with like positive. They see it as like sacrifice or negative, or feels bad now, but maybe will feel good later. But what's kind of cool about the difference between real life and VR is in VRChat, we have the ability to make things look and feel really cool that we can't do in real life, right?
Yeah.
We can do HUD pop-ups, we can do haptics, we can do sounds, we can make everything feel really magical, which is what we try to do here in the TheMightyGym. So that's how we're combining it.
Oh, well,
Wow.
thank you for explaining that. That's actually really cool. So I do have a question. What was some of the early days in the TheMightyGym like, and how has it evolved over time?
It's changed so much. Oh my gosh. When we first built it, it was meant to be something for one-on-one personal training visits. So I was intending on bringing clients into the world one person at a time and giving them an experience just isolated, one person at a time. And then we realized, that's not very sustainable as far as like finding enough people who would be interested in that kind of service. And also, it's not really what social VR is for. So we started to pivot from like helping one person at a time to doing small groups. For the first year of the gym, it was basically just me and maybe like 1 to 5 people at a time. And we would take them through the world, and I would lead them through workouts, and we would go on these little adventures to different, environments and biomes and things. And then as it grew, we started to get more into the theme park Disneyification of making the classes really feel like you're on a fitness themed Disney ride for the classes. And then the classes started growing from 10 to 15 to sometimes 20. We cap out at 30 people just because we like to give people enough attention so they don't feel like they can just like disappear into the crowd. We want to make them to feel like I'm here, I'm interacting with people, my presence matters, I'm not invisible. And so it's really changed. And when we first, it's going to come full circle soon. When we first started, it was basically just a lobby, just the lobby portion, but it was just a box with no outside. Very, very simple. And we'd take people in the elevator and take them to different environments to do workouts. And then as the gym has evolved, it's sort of blossomed and grown. And now like it's got a whole outdoor area, and we've really expanded and expanded. And now it's kind of funny is we're actually working on the next version of TheMightyGym right now, and it's going to start releasing over the next couple months or so. And what's kind of funny is we're really, the next phase of TheMightyGym is going to be really honing in on those theme park aspects and making all of the new activities and mini games and fitness arcade stuff really accessible, as sort of like transforming this place into a hub for anybody to bring their groups or their friends in together and play and do things, and this sort of accidentally get into shape, if that makes sense. Like, oops, we're all hanging out having fun, and for some reason I've lost 10 pounds this month. I don't know what's going on, just by coming in and playing games. So this patch was very much an experiment of how far we can push games into exercise, and the next patch is really like condensing everything we've learned into an amazing new package. So it's lots of stuff coming. Very excited for it.
Oh, that sounds really cool. You said Disney
Yeah.
vacation and games as exercise.
Yes.
Would you mind explaining how you do
Yeah.
that to make games fun and you utilize VR for people to
Yeah.
do that? I'm very curious. That's actually pretty
Y-
cool.
Yes. So for those of you who maybe if you don't want to be spoiled and you want to come to class, cover your, fast forward here. But how it works is usually when we have classes, people come into the world and an instructor is there waiting for them to greet them and say hi. We all jump into the elevator and we go to a teleportation area that will take us to different areas of the Mighty Gym world. What's kind of cool is we've developed like a whole story and lore around the world that we're in right now, where the gym is situated. And so during classes, we actually travel to different locations on the gym's planet in an effort to extract a resource from the planet, an energy called Mightyrium. And it's generated through our efforts doing exercises as humans, So we travel around and we're kind of pulling this energy, bringing it back to the gym so the gym can grow. And all along the way, the instructor will not only instruct you on workout, exercise related things, but is also kind of telling you the story of what's happening as the adventure continues, whether we're out in the ocean on one of our pirate ships or out in the middle of the mighty meadows collecting static Mightyrium rings in the sky. We're all kind of playing a bigger part in the story of how the gym's narratively growing, as well as the development behind the scenes of how that's working. And gamification, obviously here, we use a lot of HUD pop-ups. We also use a lot of tracking systems to let you know how well you're doing on your exercise. So if you're doing squats and it's complete, we'll let you know where you fall on our ranking system so you can improve for next time. You also get XP and level up, and there's all kinds of fun like MMO elements built into the gym. And the world events, the mini games that are here, like our boxing or our climbing world event or our gliding or swimming, they all include themes and elements from our main classes right here in the lobby for you to experience at any time. So little bits and pieces of different environments are used here as well. So just trying to make everything as gamified as possible, giving you sort of information based on your performance so you can get better. And then, of course, like we have a big stats board in the lobby so you can research and look at your overall performance and how much time you've spent in the gym or any achievements that you're almost ready to reach as well is pretty cool. A lot of achievement hunters in the gym because of persistence has been a big update for all of VRChat.
Oh. So
Oh.
did you was the Mighty Gym always trying to gamify exercise, or was that something you found or decided on, or at some point?
It was always the plan, I remember doing research on studies done in VR and how one of the coolest things about VR technology is time compression. So we perceive time going by slower in VR than it does in real life. And one of the biggest things, and we also perceive things like pain and effort to be less inside VR than we do in real life.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So what's interesting about that is exercise takes time and it takes a lot of effort. So what's kind of cool is if we then gamify on top of that, we've now taken an hour-long workout you do in your room might feel like an hour and a half, and it might feel not good at all. But if you do it all in VR here in the gym or during one of our classes, we've realized that we make an hour feel like 20 minutes and it doesn't feel as hard. So the daunting knowing of I have to do 3 sets of push-ups right now is not nearly as much resistance as you would sitting in your room, on your carpet going like, okay, here I go. I'm going to do 3 sets of push-ups right now. But if you have music going and haptics and you're getting XP and your friends are around you and you're traveling to distant lands and you've got a coach there cheering you on, it's like we really cut down how hard that exercise feels, but you still get the benefits of it in real life. So that was always really the plan.
Ah, okay. So I'll ask you an interesting question. Someone who's done fitness coaching outside and inside VRChat. Is VR a good tool for this kind of thing? Or do you prefer one over the other?
You nailed it. It's a tool, right? So I think it's a little bit. It probably would be a little bit naive to say, oh, one is better than the other. Although this conversation does come up quite often, especially if we ever like post stuff on social media. Some of the first comments are always like, just go to the real gym, which is also like a very, which is very like, very immature answer to that, right? Because we all go into VR for different reasons, and for some people, it's really hard, difficult, expensive to get in their car, drive to the gym, pay for the gym membership. You know, got to leave their house, get dressed. Like, there's so many little things that VR solves to make coming in and making exercise part of your day way less resistance. You know, going to the gym and lifting metal circles is really good for building a ton of muscle. However, most people will get, you know, that have any fitness goals whatsoever, you'll get to 80% of what your goals are by just staying consistent with anything. So the rule of the game, especially you see anybody that's really in shape in real life, usually it's not because they have the perfect plan, it's because they're consistent. It's because they've made like their health and their wellness something that they don't consider. It's something that's a part of their daily routine in some capacity. So the TheMightyGym is really, really, really good for building that consistency. It's also for somebody like me who goes to the gym in real life and comes into VR. You know, for me, don't really like cardio that much. For me, don't really like training core that much. When I go to the gym, I like doing main lifts, and then I use TheMightyGym as my supplementation to burn those extra calories, to work on my core, to be around my friends and around people. When I go to the gym in real life, it's not really a social place. It's, you know, everybody's got their headphones in, they're focusing, and it's like sweaty and gross, and you know, it's maybe mildly socially uncomfortable, whereas in VR it feels like the complete opposite. So I think they're both tools that you can use, and it's kind of your adventure and your journey and your responsibility to figure out which tools work for you to get where you want to go with your health and your fitness. So I would say yes, it's totally a viable option as well.
Okay.
Hopefully that explains that. A long-winded answer, but
Oh no,
can you tell I'm a coach?
Oh no, you're on a podcast. You're gonna ask you questions once you talk a while. Don't do that. Anything but that.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's
My bad.
dopey. Dopey. We enjoy hearing what makes people excited. So if you talk a long time about something, don't apologize. Keep on going. We want to listen to it. So at least that's my opinion on it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Be careful what you wish for.
if you want to talk for 2 hours about fitness, go for it.
Oh no, how terrible. Oh no.
Oh well then
You want to talk about something you're passionate about? Oh no, how terrible.
So
We got plenty of that around.
I'll ask this: what have been some moments in history or key events within the TheMightyGym that has happened over the years since it started? What are some of the things you look back on fondly?
Oh gosh. Oh, so many fun moments. You know, from patch 1.0 into 2.0, we're up to 5.0 right now. We do
wow.
our patches kind of like how MMOs do them. So like if it's a small patch, it's a decimal point. If it's a big thing, then it's a whole version upgrade. So we have been through 5 different like eras of the gym basically up to this point. But man, we've had everything from gym jam concerts where we've had DJs come in and people are listening to DJ music and exercising all around them. We've had big reveal events where we actually went down into the lower sanctums underneath the gym to meet the robot that actually is controlling this entire facility, the reactor core. That came in patch 2.2 or 2.5. We've also introduced the egg meditation unit, was something that came after the initial inception of the gym, which is something you can access through the elevator if you remember, and it has some really, really cool guided meditations and little things that you can interact with that are really nice for before or after you do classes or after you do your workout to cool down. And man, some other really, really awesome things. I mean, we've done collaborations with a lot of other big VRChat events like VCAT and VRChat themselves, and We even had like a really cool summer camp last summer that we ran just like a real kid summer camp, whatever. We had staff at stations, and we were doing little mini games and challenges and doing fitness consultations and like doing all this. Like the hybrid between professional work and fun has been really awesome, this project, because obviously I come from a fun background and a content creation background, but also from a professional background. So, coming in here as a certified professional and helping people in the VR space has been really fun. But yeah, just kind of seeing the different waves of the story kind of continuing on from battling alien robots to scare them away from our planet so they don't find the gym, all the way up until overloading the core of the gym to the point where the gym almost exploded one patch where we thought the project actually wasn't going to survive. So it was kind of like a doomsday device going off, and there was like fire tornadoes outside and everything was going crazy. We've done some really awesome Halloween and winter events, seasonal events as well. They're very memorable. So we really try to make everything kind of feel like this story that's progressing, like you're playing an MMO, and there's seasons and there's seasonal events and things are changing, and our classes reflect that too. So there's honestly too many good memories to count, and quite often we do go back on the pictures and the videos and the trailers of all of our different releases and look at all that stuff. But yeah, excited for what's to come as well.
Oh, so you mentioned that you had 5 iterations of the world. May I ask what they were and how each variant was different from the other?
Totally. I'll see if I can do my best to remember. So 1.0 was basically just the gym was a lobby, and the purpose was to gather people there and then take them. There was nothing to do other than to come to a class, if you remember. That's it. The world had no other purpose but for our small little member group. And then we would go in the elevator and we would travel to a bunch of locations out in the world, different environments. And what was kind of interesting is you had to go linearly. So first environment, 2, 3, 4, all in a row. There was no modularity. You couldn't choose to go to one or the other. You literally had to travel through them all to get to the end. So that was the entire class for 1.0. 2.0 is when we realized we really wanted to see if we could help questies. So we had to start developing a new area to run classes that was Quest compatible, which was very tough. It was a very tough transition because a lot of our current members were PCVR and who were quite happy to keep doing what we were doing. So we decided to pause during the 2.0 on doing the adventures, and we went to a place in the gym called the Fit Factory, which is this factory that we built that was closer to where the core robot was that powers the gym. And the goal of the Fit Factory was to create a space that was Quest compatible, so we could run classes for both compatibilities. But narratively, it was also the fact that being out in the world was drawing attention from the enemies that the gym has, and they were starting to find us. So we needed to retreat back into the gym because we were going out in the world and collecting the energy, the Mightyrium. So what we tried to do in the Fit Factory is, instead of collecting Mightyrium from the world, the core decided to, what if we just squeeze humans like towels and see if we can extract energy out of these humans in this box to keep myself going. And while it did work for a while, it did eventually overload the gym and nearly self-destruct it. Yes. Some would say it was painful. Some would say it was fun. Some would just say it's exercise. But we had a really, really good time. And then 3.0 is when we started developing the new adventure mode, which was going to be re-releasing adventure mode and going to new places. So new environments we hadn't been to before. We were able to escape the threat of the bad guys, and so we're able to go out into the world again, and it was Quest compatible, which was awesome. So it introduced 4 new areas, the Mighty Meadows, which you can see around us right now. We also adventure out on our pirate ship out into the boundless blue, which is the ocean surrounding the continent that we're on. And then there's also an enormous master satellite up in space that our reactor core sent up to kind of find out where the energy was on the planet. Sometimes we go up to that satellite to work out on the wings of the satellite in space, and then sometimes we have to repair the satellite to make sure it's still working. That's part of class. And then finally, we go to an island, a remote island called the Bonfire Beach. And that has very like tiki vibes, very tropical, and there's also a cool swim course out there as well. And we use all these locations as sort of like parts of the class. And what's cool now with 3.0 and after is we can now modularly decide I only want to go here, or that I want to go here, or I want to go here, and you can go back and forth instead of it just being like on rails where you have to do the same thing every single time, which was a huge upgrade. 4.0 was persistence. All of the XP, achievements, leveling systems, everything that was related to persistence went in 4.0. And then 5.0 is when we opened up the lobby and created all of the public workout mini games and world events that you have access to, that anybody in VRChat has access to now, as an effort to give everyone in VRChat stuff to do. Is if they can't come to a class because of time reasons, or they can't afford a membership or whatever, just providing more tools and more fun things to do for everybody in VRChat here in the gym. So 5.0 was the introduction of Tempo, our boxing robot, and all of the fun boxing games that Tempo has, our swimming course, climbing, as well as the gliding course as well. And that's caught us up pretty much until now.
Wow. So you guys gone through
Yeah.
quite a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is a lot.
Yes.
Oh. So with that being said, I do have a question. Did you guys develop the lore over time, or did you guys kind of have an idea what you want at the beginning? Mask? Because you've talked a bit about it
That's
so
a good
far.
question. Yeah, that's a good question. So some of it was definitely predetermined. You know, it was a story that I thought would be cool to tell. Also, you know, this is also going to be kind of like spoiler alert territory for anybody that's super interested, and also maybe a little bit of a look behind the screen. I don't know if we got any D&D players out there, but a little bit of a look behind the DM screen of knowing some of the secrets. But
D&D player. You're a
yeah,
D&D
you like
player.
D&D?
Yeah, I've been playing since high school.
Amazing. Then you'll love some of this stuff. So sometimes with VR, you know, there's not always an asset for everything. So sometimes when we're making patches and we're developing things, we find assets and things that we're going to use for the different features or whatever. And you know, sometimes the assets are so good that they make their way into the story.
Oh.
Right? So maybe they weren't planned, but we're going to use this thing that looks really cool. Why not tie it into how the story of the gym goes? And then obviously sometimes what we've also learned with both VRChat and fitness and gyms in general is that sometimes the way that we experience the world has to take precedence over the story. And I'm sure you know this about D&D too. Like sometimes having a story laid out is nice, but sometimes you also have to let the people playing lead you where the story is going to go. So there's definitely been parts of the story that were planned this way, but the way that our members interacted with the world and wanted stuff to go kind of led it more in this direction, and that's okay. We made changes, and it's sort of guided a little bit by what's happening and the reaction, and also sometimes technical limitations too. You know, sometimes there's stuff that we want to do, and we discover, hey, we're going to spend a month on time and money to develop this new thing. Is it something that we think people will use, or is it something people will just appreciate because it's part of the story? And what's more worth it? The time and the effort of everybody on the team, and the money to pay the people that are involved for all of the development. So that's definitely, it's always a balance, trying to figure out what's gonna be worth it, because at the end of the day, we want people to use the gym, enjoy the gym, have fun, and sometimes the story comes first, sometimes story comes last. Sometimes it takes a back seat, and I think that's okay too.
Cool. So I do have another question as well. Since you've been coaching here in VR, and I take it as well as outside the headset as well.
Yep.
I do have a question. Has anything from either side leaked into the other, like anything you've learned or experiences or anything that has stuck with you, pulled you either out of here or into here that has helped over the course of you running the Mighty Gym?
Oh, that's a good question. Has anything from VR coaching or IRL coaching helped with the other? Ooh, that's a good question. On maybe a deeper level, I think coaching in VR has helped me become more empathetic with people. When you coach professionally or you're a personal trainer in real life, a lot of people that work with you come to you on a professional level. A lot of times the personal stuff doesn't even really make it to the session. It's very much, hey, we're here to do this thing. We're going to do this thing. Awesome. Good job. I'll see you next week. Whereas I think in VR, because of its nature, people are more willing to open up to you about the reasons why. Like, why are you in here? Why are you trying to better yourself? Why does it feel hard? Why are you excited about changing? And the amount of empathy I have gained by connecting with people who wish to become healthier has really helped me adapt to that empathetic mindset, so that even when I'm training people in real life, I'm able to treat them more as humans and less as clients, if that makes sense.
Makes
And
sense.
that's something I didn't quite expect. So that's been really, really good. But to be completely honest, aside from the technical things and the the knowledge needed to like use technology, it's really not that different. Which I was really excited to find out is that it doesn't matter if you're in a gym or you're in VR, like it's a lot of the same principles, a lot of the same stuff. It's just that, in a real gym, I can see you can see me. I'm gonna check your form. We're gonna, maybe that's the other thing that's more difficult in VR is if you're on half body, it's a little bit harder to check people's form on exercises. Even though we've gotten used to figuring all that stuff out, depending on where like the bones are in the avatar and how their spine's moving and where their head position is. That's been something that's only VR knowledge that we've had to have training on. Real life is much easier. Full body is much easier. But this honestly, it's not too much different. It's not too much different than going to a class or going to a training session in real life than in VR. You just get to be comfy at home, and you get to be whoever you want to be when you're in VR, which is a nice feature.
Oh, you mentioned earlier that
Yeah.
you're. Ooh, you go.
No, it's okay.
Oh,
You
you
can
go.
go
It's
first.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I just wanted to say, the only memory I have of going to a Mighty Gym event was during the VR charity event where Boston and Vinny were doing this B style combat. Oh, my hand lost tracking. Sorry. Doing this B style combat. I was there because it was like I wanted to stream the entire 48 hours of the VR charity event, and I participated in that, and it was really really fun because I felt like I was a bee and I was dressed as a bee, and we defended Venny because Venny was like the queen bee and then Boston was like the wasp, and we did like punchy punchies, and then I don't know, I thought it was really fun. Have you ever been to a Mighty Gym session before?
I have not. I've not been to a Mighty Gym
We should
session.
go together. I
Not
think
yet.
it's fun. Yeah. And then we can get friend Kugo to be there too, and he can make fun of us because we're really bad at it.
Yeah, there's no making fun here. We don't do the making fun. Everybody does an amazing job here. I'm glad you went to that event and it was exciting. Lawson being the wasp does check out. That does check out. And they did a great job on that class. Yeah, it's always like whatever ways you can almost put like a fun filter or skin over the effort really helps you get past feeling like it's going to be not fun. So whether it's like, coming up with outfits or dressing in different avatars. I know pretty soon we're going to have our New Year, New Meme class pretty soon. It's one thing we do one time a year in January where everybody comes to class dressed as the most ridiculous avatar they have. And it's just, we just laugh the whole time while doing squats and push-ups, and it's just like a blast. But yeah, once again, something you can't really do in real life. I mean, you could just be like, hey, everybody come to the gym in their Halloween costumes, but even that's a little embarrassing, right, in real life. Whereas in VR, it's totally fine. It's an average Tuesday for VRChat, right? So I'm glad you had a good experience.
Yeah, I love the idea. I love the idea of the themed workouts because I host a fashion community and I get people to dress up all the time to partake in different things where they dress for the occasion. So yeah, I mean, if you're ever looking for communities to collab to dress up nice and work out, I would be very open to bringing my community members over to the Mighty Gym. Yeah. It'll be pretty cool to get them all to dress up a certain way. I'll tell them to be like, "Hey, all of you dress up like unicorns. We're going to go save the magic pot of gold." And Coach Kugo is going to be the one leprechaun that's like protecting the gold that we gotta steal from. That's really funny. I would like. You know what? I think I'm gonna start planning that.
Cool. Well, you better start planning it fast, or I'm gonna steal the idea. So get to work.
Oh, okay. You mentioned you had a question before I cut you off.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I didn't
no.
mean to do that.
Please, if you have a question, ask. I have no problems with you asking questions.
Okay.
Yeah, interrupt me if you ever have something you want to know. I do have a question. You mentioned earlier you were a content creator. How has that helped with your either coaching in real life or with the Mighty Gym particularly? Were you able to pull any of those skills to help here? Hello, friend. I hope you're enjoying the current video. We'd actually like to inform you that we do some other shows and content as well. We have a whole bunch of interviews from the Metaverse Degen podcast, which you can find over in the main YouTube channel or on Spotify. We also do a D&D actual play called Hold My L, which you can find on the same Metaverse Degen network channel as well as Spotify under Hold My L. If you're interested in either of those things, we create other shows and plan on making more in the future. If you want to check out our social media to find out when those new shows or other stuff we're doing is, feel free to go to metaversedegen.card.co. We have all of those links for you to watch. And we also have a Patreon over there as well, where we have been posting the pre-show content for Hold My L. So whenever like conversation or talk about things, maybe lore or whatever's going on, we post that over there as well. As well as we every once in a while pull stuff back from the vault from episodes long gone that are no longer on the channel. We'll post them every once in a while over there. Like for example, we have the old one where the first ever episode we pulled the Raptor on. But we'd like to give a huge shout out and thank you to those who have supported us over at Patreon, such as Exotrix, Rosen, Aliquum, Future Oracle, and Forbidden Zero. Thank you all so much. You're amazing, and enjoy the rest of your video. Or experiences.
Yeah, yes. Because as a content creator, your job is to entertain other people. That's it. Find creative ways to entertain other people. And usually, more people will come work out if they know it's also going to be entertaining. So if I did not have the background, probably would just act more like a professional, which I think is okay too. But what we've realized is when you have the right people around who have, and I'm sure you know this from other VRChat communities, when you have somebody who's just like this beacon of shining light personality and they make everything fun, and when they're around, everybody like has a good time, that is sometimes way more valuable than even knowledge or qualifications or how professional or how official or how effective it is. Sometimes it really is a matter of when you put on an event, is it a good time? Then people come back. And then the exercise is almost secondary. It almost is like happens automatically in the background, right? So I feel lucky that I get to bring that in. And I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I come into the gym and like I'm ready to teach a class. Sometimes I'm tired and it's not as entertaining, but I make sure to let everybody know, like, hey, low energy Kugo today, just to let you know, we're going to get some workout in, and it's totally fine. But yeah, sometimes we do have really wild and wacky events. Sometimes I like to, as I get to know our members more throughout the months, when they're coming to classes, it's fun to joke around with them and treat them more like friends, which is really, really fun. And just building off of that foundation as a community, I think really helps, because it's no different than when you're a content creator and you're building a community around the content that you make. Very similar kind of vibe. My only hopes is that I attract enough other people who are like me, so that the community doesn't always depend on me too. Yeah. And then the gym itself, the vibe and the community becomes the light, the bigger light that attracts more people. But yeah, that's the plan.
Oh,
Oh, so you were mentioning, you mentioned earlier one of the things that you weren't expecting, like the whole people's explaining why, the people's reasons for being there. Over the course of running Mighty Gym, were there other things like that that you weren't expecting that kind of made you rethink or alter what you were doing?
Rethink or alter what I'm doing? Well, I guess we can kind of catch you up to date and kind of tell you about what's going on right now, which is another thing about VRChat that we're developing for next patch is developing more things for accessibility and instead of aesthetics. So another thing that we've really been surprised about is, if you build stuff, it doesn't mean people will just automatically want to use it or do it or whatever. So you really have to think about, when you spawn into a VRChat world, and you go to, let's say, I'll flip it around to you. Lately, are there any VRChat worlds that you think you go to quite often? Maybe like one time a week or a couple times a week, and you just find yourself going there to like do something often? Do you guys have anything like that?
Yeah, we've been to some liminal spaces, her and I, quite often, because we both kind of enjoyed that kind of experience ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I like liminal spaces.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's great. So it's like when you really enjoy one thing, VRChat users don't typically like to take additional steps in order to do that thing that they like to do. So another really, if it's okay, I'd love to like shout out some other really, really cool worlds. So like, like the fishing world in VRChat, that's really popular. It's amazing because all you have to do is like walk down a hill and you take out your rod and you just go. It's so easy, So one of the things that we've learned recently is when people come into MightyGym, how do we make it so easy to just like spawn in and be like, I want to do that, and you just go do it, and it's like really easy to use. So that's something we've been learning a lot about, and we were kind of surprised about because I've already told you, MightyGym has lots of really cool features, lots of areas, lots of mini games, lots of floors to the facility. Like there's so much here, and so in our mind we're like, oh man, there's so much here, so people will explore and have so much to do. But the fact of the matter is, like, a lot of times, sometimes people just get stuck in the spawn room and it just happens, or sometimes people enter the lobby and see there's like some arcade machines, but then they're like not really sure what to do or where to go. So we're really next patch, we're digging into that, like, ease of use, right? Of step by step, of immediately. You don't have to be like, a lot of places in VRChat are really cool, but you kind of have to like be in the know or really explore and discover and learn the mechanics of the world before you can enjoy it fully. And so that's what we're working on next patch, is how do we get that distance from enjoying it fully and learning all as close to the beginning of spawning in as possible, because it can be quite confusing for some people. But yeah.
May I ask, what were some of the things that you've learned to do that you'll be incorporating? Like, what kinds of things are you doing in order to make it as easy as possible for people?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we are definitely we're shifting around the gym's layout a little bit so that it feels a little bit. Have either of you ever played a game for the Nintendo 64?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So one of our goals for this last patch was to take the gym structure that was already there and kind of expand upon it. But what we've realized is VRChat, especially when over the last couple of years, I've had the pleasure of becoming friends with a lot of other really popular like VRChat world creators, and the stuff that they make is really like well received and well loved and well liked and well used by a lot of people in VRChat. And I've always been fascinated to ask them like interview questions as to like, why do you think that is? Like, why are people enjoying stuff? And quite often I see that it's because when you spawn into their world, it's very obvious and very clear and very visually, like you can just see all the stuff you're supposed to do right laid out right in front of you. So we're going to be making a lot of really big improvements as far as making the hub, when you spawn in, making the hub center of the gym feel a lot like a hub world in an N64 game, where you're there and you're looking around and you're like, oh, boxing's there, swimming is there, there's a door over there, I wonder what that does. There's a cool menu over here with the store. There's a shop. You know, there's an NPC with a shop, and they have all the rewards for the gym there. And really just making it feel like, oh, everything's at my fingertips instead of it just being about the visual, like, aesthetics of the gym itself being a part of, like, the original vision. So it's a little bit of like detaching from the original vision that's 3 years old and starting to have it almost like hit adolescence and evolve into what I would consider modern day VR chat, how people enjoy VR chat worlds now in 2026 now, which is crazy to think about that number. You know, like, what do people enjoy now as opposed to what the original vision was? Sometimes that's tricky. I don't know if either you do any world development or anything like that, but sometimes you have this really good idea and you're like building on it. At some point, it almost like outgrows the original idea and things have to change, or the people or the environment, the platform sometimes outgrows the ideas that you had. So it's a little bit of a an exciting evolution is a good word. Yeah, evolution of it all. See where it goes.
Oh, well, thank you very much for explaining that. That's actually really cool to know with layouts
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I do have a question. How do you, in the current iteration, as well as the future, what are you going to be doing different in order to lay out to be easy for people to interact with? Like, what are kinds of tricks you do? Because I remember some conversation I had before. Like, for example, the horror world developers do a lot of lights in order to pull people's eyes towards a thing, as an example.
Totally. That we could have such a phenomenal conversation about just game design in general. That all that is game. Even video games do that, right? Like, really making sure that the brightest light is shining towards the direction you want people to go in. Things like in this patch, you know, my good friend and architectural designer of a lot of this new building, we talked a lot about sight lines. So really making sure that wherever you're at, you want to be able to at least see 3 other areas where people could be doing things and never have any like walls really obstructing or blocking areas to other areas. So that was really, really important to us, is to make sure the gym felt open and like you could see other things going on and happening, but also seclude yourself if you wanted to. And so what we realized is usually when you're on to a theory, it's usually have to double down on that theory way more than you think you have to. So like the new iteration, instead of there just being sight lines and different floors where you can kind of look and see, we're thinking everything's going to be all in like one area. So no obstruction whatsoever. In fact, you'll be able to be anywhere and see anything at any time, and everything is just a stone throw away. Just like a 5-second, you know, avatar walk away, instead of it feeling like you have to traverse a building or a maze or try to discover what else is there. We're obviously still going to have cool, cute little things to discover, but we decided, you know, for specific example, right now, a lot of people really enjoy our boxing minigame. It's like one of the most popular things in our gym. It's also the furthest thing from the entrance and obstructed from the entrance. So that was a lesson. That was a hard lesson to learn. Is like the best thing is the furthest away and you can't see it when you come in. So that's like part of the psychology behind the design of the environment. That's really, really important. And there's countless other game design factors that we use, along with you notice there's subtly you see the fans in the gym. There's some spinning fans. As you know, we're in VR. There's no moving air, right? But when you stop those fans, it feels worse. It feels like the air is stale. And it's psychologically like having things seem like they're moving air or slightly moving in general do a whole lot for making an area feel more alive instead of feeling dead and stone like. So those are just a couple little things that we use here in the gym to try to make it feel like it's more of a living place.
So, were there any exercises or experiences or games that you were hoping people would like? And what were some of your community's favorites that you've done?
Yeah. So for exercises, honestly, there's not much difference in VR than in real life. You know, there are nobody really nobody loves doing push-ups. Nobody loves doing burpees. People love doing arm circles, but that is not really a VR thing. That's just like, hey, some things are more effort than others. As far as activities and things like that, what we realized is, you know, climbing takes a lot more hand-eye coordination and skill than we thought that it would. So sometimes people find it really hard to engage with climbing unless they really enjoy that hand-eye coordination. We found out that the flying and the gliding is really, really good when you pair it with other exercises, but on its own, it's not as much exercise as we had hoped. It's actually more like a game than it is exercise. So that's something we're tweaking for the next patch too. And then swimming, we discovered we thought was going to be a ton of fun, but we realized based on feedback, swimming is a lot of effort. To swim fast in VR, it burns a lot of calories, like way more than the other things that we were doing for activities. And so treating these things as equal activities turned out to be a little bit of a misstep, because they're totally, the way people perceive them is not. And everybody loves boxing. Boxing is fun. Everybody seems to really, really like boxing. And our boxing robot is really fun to interact with. It's a very unique experience. And we're really excited to dig into other exercise-based mini games too. In the future, we're working on a exercise mini game that's core-based and a mini game that's lower body-based. Right now, a lot of our mini games are really upper body-based, so we're looking into creating 2 new experiences that are meant to work on your core and work on your lower body. So that way, if you wanted to get a full body workout but only play games, you could. That's like our next thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So I have another interesting question as well. When developing these games and experiences, how do you choose or what inspires you to have these certain things inside the gym?
Yeah. I also have to shout out again the developer Mixie for this project. She's been absolutely amazing over the last 3 or 4 years, and she often helps me kind of come to a middle ground of what is a good idea and what's actually realistically possible to develop for VRChat. Because I'm not a VRChat developer myself, so I don't really know technical limitations of things. So a lot of times I'll come to Mixie with an idea and say, hey, wouldn't this be fun? And she'll say, not possible. Or she'll say, oh, it was possible, but it probably isn't going to work how you think it's going to work based on your real life experiences. But a lot of times it's going around to other VRChat worlds, seeing what other physics-based things or other games, things that other people are using, looking at things like fitness VR apps that aren't VRChat. So apps that are built specifically for VR. A lot of them are based around Beat Saber, to be honest with you. There's not a lot of variation with that. So we look at stuff like that. How can we take elements of that and make it a little bit better? And what do people already do in VRChat that's kind of fun? People love going to climbing worlds. There's a lot of places to go swimming in VRChat as well. And obviously, I also have to shout out, VRC Boxing. They also crush. They do a phenomenal job over at their PvP boxing world, and that's very popular as well. So we try to take things that work really well with controllers, things that already work really well for VR, and then put MightyGym spin on them, so they're uniquely ours.
Okay. We have 4 more questions for you before we start wrapping up.
Sweet.
One of which is for the rest of 2026. What are some things that the audience can look forward to coming from in the Mighty Gym in the future?
Oh my gosh. So one of the biggest things that we're really excited about, and I'm posting a video about to my community about this soon. So actually I'm saying this before I'm even telling my own community, which feels weird, but it's probably okay. We have decided, instead of doing huge patches over the course of like 2-3 month chunks, we've actually decided we're going to do this almost like a running timeline style development. And so that people that support the gym can actually see what they're supporting towards and what's coming up next. And when we finish one feature, we're going to update the world and then move right on the next feature, instead of waiting for like a big release chunk like a AAA game would do. We're done doing like expansions where we do a whole 3 to 4 months. That way people can be excited and get stuff more often. We're hoping to plan to have the cadence of updates be more like once a month or twice a month, depending on what kind of updates we're doing. We are completely revamping how all of the exercise tracking works. We're revamping how the scoring and grading system works. We're upgrading all of the visuals. We are upgrading XP and leveling and the reward system. We're adding in the gym is probably going to be getting its very own in-game currency system soon, so that people can start accruing mighty coins and then spend them on rewards and skins for different things. PMC skins, skins for the yoga mat, skins for everything, so that you can start to customize when you walk in and you're hanging out with your friends. When you step on a arcade machine, it changes to the skin that you want or you have to kind of customize your experience. We are going to be adding in new areas for classes, which is also very exciting. There's going to be brand new themed classes. The class I'm looking forward to for this year is to bring back I used to like to do a gym class hero style class where it feels a lot like gym class would have been back in like elementary or high school, but we actually make it fun. So that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to, is to do like a Hero Academy 2 style class. And then also, as far as in the world, we're revamping the entire hub of the Mighty Gym. We're adding in I don't want to spoil too much, but there are going to be 2 to 3 new world event mini games going in. And then also the biggest feature this year that we're working on is something called Safari Mode, which is going to be, man, I can't believe I'm stringing this sentence together. It's going to be a fitness-based group dungeon crawl activity you can do. So you can go alone or you can bring in your friends. And it'll basically be like a procedurally generated adventure with exercises, mini games, like sort of like, imagine a workout gym class plus WarioWare and an adventure all in one. And your group gets a score, and you can go on these treks. And we're MMOifying everything, so maybe you'll be able to pick a class. And if you're a class, you might bring benefits to the group in that workout trek that other people wouldn't be able to bring, and integrates all into the reward system, and really just like MMOifying everything. That's the biggest thing we're developing this year. Really looking forward to seeing how that goes. It'll really be like the first thing of its kind. We're integrating all kinds of weird technology that I've only seen pieces of in other worlds, and kind of putting it all together to make something that's true. It might even be like a VRChat first. So nervous, excited. Same, I'm sure Mixie, the developer's also very nervous and excited about this big undertaking. But every time we've ever tried to make something new, brand new, and groundbreaking, we've always been able to knock it out of the park. So 2026 should be no different, as long as we still have the support of our community, and we'll keep cruising.
Oh, well, the Mighty Gym is a very notorious community, recognized by many people, and
Notorious?
many,
Uh-oh.
yeah.
What do we do?
Well,
Did I use the wrong vocabulary?
It's okay. Notorious means you're known for doing something bad.
Like infamous.
Sorry.
Infamous.
So, yeah. So Mighty Gym is a very well-known community known by
Okay.
many developers and like people, like important
Mm.
people. So if anybody
Yeah.
can pull that off, I believe this community will be able to. And you've already made a mark in the social VR spectrum. I'm sorry if you hear like really
Oh,
annoying
thanks,
stuff
Louise.
coming through my mic. My neighbor is having construction on their house.
It's okay.
But this community for like the Mighty Gym has already accomplished so much and worked with so many other different communities to make people enjoy working out and taking care of themselves, and like you mentioned, in a fun. So if anybody can pull off what you have just mentioned, and of course this episode is not coming out as we record it, it's coming out maybe a month later or something. So
Okay,
you've
then this
probably
will be
already
safe.
announced this
Yeah,
to your
okay.
you've
Yeah,
already
yeah,
had
yeah,
probably
yeah,
announced
yeah,
this to your
yeah.
community by then. But
Yeah.
if anyone can do it, I believe your community, the people behind your development team,
Thank you.
will most probably be able to achieve it. I'm not good at
Th-
expressing. English is hard.
No, you don't understand how much that coming from you that means to me. I can't wait till this episode comes out so I can basically just like clip that part and play it for myself every morning so I work really hard because that's really meaningful. I really appreciate all the special words that you just had. That's always been the goal, is to just help people in a meaningful way. So I'm glad that's having some mark and some impact, and I can only hope that it continues to be that way. And maybe your wording isn't that bad because we are definitely, especially Boston, is notorious for making people do burpees over and over again. And I would say that definitely is a notorious word to use there. Yeah, we're definitely notorious for making people do exercise when they come in for class as a requirement, but I think that's what most people come here for anyway, so that's totally fine. Thank you so much. Those are really kind words.
I mean, if people who know me know that I don't have a filter, so I just say stuff.
That's good for podcasting.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Agreed.
Hi.
Cool. And the next question is, did you expect the journey you've been on since putting on the plastic headset, or the plastic potato, the VR headset you're wearing now? Did you expect the journey you've been on since coming here?
Yes.
You did?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was straightforward. That
Sorry,
was just like
that's
a
an
yes.
Oh yeah, that's the first straight up yes we've gotten.
Yes.
Every single time we've asked that, they say
Right.
no. So you're the first yes we've gotten. I'm gonna be honest.
I would love
Yes.
to say. I would love to say that, like, that canned answer, that stock answer of like, oh, it's like so different than what I imagined. But honestly, when I set off to start doing this, the vision was so strong that although the details are sometimes different, the overall expectation of where it's going is the same. It's not anything that's surprising me because it's been such a monumental part of my life over the last 3 or 4 years, and I spent so much time deciding if I wanted to pursue it and how it was going to end up being that yeah, no, it is everything I expected and wanted it to be. And although the details shift sometimes, that's totally normal. But I think that just comes with having a really strong vision. And I've been so lucky, and I'm so gracious that the team that we have and the people that I've attracted to come work with me on this project are all people that have just as much passion for doing this and feel so strongly about a similar vision that it's kind of impossible for it to not be that way, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
It's going in such a strong direction that it's not surprising.
Yeah, the vision is strong, the dream is strong, the goal is strong, the way there is strong, because all the
keep
people
going.
in the community are strong because they work out.
Yeah.
Come to the Mighty Gym, work out and you'll be strong. Just do it. Yesterday you said tomorrow.
Nice. Yes.
Oh, and we have 2 more questions we ask everybody. The first of which is the name used in VRChat. Where'd you get it? Where'd it come from, and why to use it?
Okay, so
Why are
Kugo.
you named Coach Kugo?
So Coach Kugo started in VRChat. I actually changed it, and it was so funny because my online username is Kugo. It's been that way for a very, very long time. It was Kugo because I wanted a short name for my character in World of Warcraft, and I typed in random combinations of phonetics. Just like it was like it was like Bago and then Doggo and then got to like Kugo and it worked and I was like, okay, cool, that sounds good enough. So I chose Kugo. And then another game came out in 2011 called Guild Wars 2, and in that game you could have multiple names. You'd have a last name, and then I made like a beast-like character, and I was like, well, it can't be Kugo Johnson. It has to be like a beast name. So then I decided to make him Kugo the Mighty. And then that name became my internet name, and then that's what I named my YouTube channel 10 years ago. And then I rode that name out ever since now. So I go by Kugo ever since. I started off in VRChat as being just Kugo, and then I wanted people to know when I was in the gym that I was a coach, so I changed my name to Coach Kugo in VRChat. And my developer hated me because when I did that, it broke our in-world permission systems, and I didn't have permission to coach in the gym. So ironically, I put coach in my name, and then I was unable to coach in the gym the day I did that, which was really funny. So I had to cancel class and wait for my developer to fix it. But yeah, that's where it came from, the origin.
Oh, well, thank you very much for sharing. And the avatar you're in, why'd you choose it? Why do you use it? Is there anything about it that means anything to you?
Yeah, so this is basically I don't really look too much different in real life than what I look like now. I'm one of those people where I just like I'm fine just being me, but all my clothes are like I wanted to be like if I was a workout superhero version of me. So, I got some clothes, and I've got let's see if I can put my jacket on and do this. Yep, so I got like my cool little jacket and everything too.
Wow, he's so stylish.
Yeah, I'm so stylish. And then I have to give also props. The same person that helped build out this facility, my friend Beanie, also did the avatar work for me too. Once again, so gracious that like in this project I get to be the vision person and the fitness person, and then there's so many talented people around me who do like modeling work and Unity work and Blender work, and it's just like I'm so lucky to have so many resources and friends at my fingertips to assist in ways that I simply cannot. So Beanie made this avatar. He's awesome. He also makes other VRChat worlds, makes like mini golf worlds and all kinds of shout out Beanie. Does awesome stuff. And yeah, I got my Nikes. Love my Nikes. So I got my Nikes on here too. Other than that, yeah, just trying to go for like superhero version. Or what's that show? The Spartacus character from the town. What's that show? The memes? Oh man, I read the comments go crazy.
King Leonidas?
What's the show? The show's called like something town.
Oh, I don't remember.
Town. He's like, there's
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
He's a superhero outfit, and he like does all these push-ups. It's like a kids show.
Lazy Town.
Lazy Town. It's the superhero guy, fitness guy from Lazy Town.
Yeah, the guy with the blue outfit.
And a mustache. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny. I think that superhero guy actually might just be a combination of me and Boston put together, because Boston has that mustache in real life. So it's just like if we Dragon Ball fuse together, we might turn into that guy. But that was the inspiration for the outfit. Just kind of go for like a still human, but kind of like a superhero version of myself in VR.
Oh, well, thank you very much for coming on. It's been an absolute honor to get to know you and hear your story and about the MightyGym. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yay.
Can't wait to speak more with you another time. I hope everything goes well with the podcast, and thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
No problem.
I can't wait to drag Ryan to one of your MightyGym sessions, and you can watch us both die because we're both just really out of shape.
For now.
Oh, now if anyone in the audience wishes to reach out or find you or join the MightyGym, where would they go?
TheMightyGym.com.
Oh.
Wow.
That's it.
Alrighty.
That's it.
Well, that's easy enough to do. We'll have that in the description for you guys and to go find right down below. And if you're on Spotify, same place, but in the episode descriptions, you have to go a bit of an adventure for it, but it's still there too. And normally we'll ask you questions at this point, but instead we're going to give you homework. Go join the Mighty Gym and let us know in the comments how it was. We want to hear about your experience.
Work out, lose weight, become a bee, defend the hive or something. That's all I remember from the workout I did.
Patch, maybe that's patch 6.0, defend the hive. Maybe that's coming.
Yeah,
Yes.
Whoa. Well,
it's fun. Do your homework.
do the homework. Let us know how it was. With that being said, thanks for joining us. See you in the Metaverse, folks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.